Hello, and thank you for watching this virtual groundbreaking production for what will become the new Forsyth County Courthouse. I'm Damon Sanders Pratt, Forsyth County Deputy Manager. As part of the local and national effort to minimize and ultimately eradicate the spread of COVID-19, Forsyth County has opted to conduct a largely virtual construction commencement celebration. Although speakers removed their masks for the sake of the listener, each presenter was recorded one at a time by a minimal crew, wearing masks and appropriately socially distanced for everyone's protection. We at Forsyth County Local Government, the facility end users, the project architect SLAM, and the construction management team, Samet and Balfour Beatty Construction, wanted to share the groundbreaking of this important facility in our community. By doing it in this way, we believe we're recognizing the importance of the undertaking and remaining mindful of the situation in which we find ourselves. Thank you again.
Hi, I'm John Drinkard, an architect and principal with CJMW Architecture and Interior Design. Located here in Winston-Salem, we are the lead architect and interior designer for the new Forsyth County Courthouse and Administration Building. A new courthouse has been a dream in the eye of Forsyth County for many years, and I'm very proud to be part of this historic groundbreaking ceremony. It is truly a historic moment in time. I would like to take a minute to tell you about the design team. The design team was a collaboration of many groups that included not only architects, engineers, interior designers, and landscape architects, but equally important was the role that the stakeholders played in why we can stand here today. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners, for without their foresight and support, this project could not have been possible. They recognized the need for a larger courthouse that was more secure, functionally efficient, technologically advanced, and accessible, in order to better serve the needs of Forsyth County for many years to come. Secondly, I wish to express my appreciation to Forsyth County administration and staff. Under the leadership of Dudley Watts, Damon Sanders Pratt, and James Anderson, they oversaw the design process and worked tirelessly with us to achieve the design goals and stay in budget. And finally, I would like to recognize the multiple courthouse user groups and judges who worked enthusiastically with us to develop a functional yet exciting design that we are all proud of. Together we formed a cohesive design group that overcame many challenges and designed a new courthouse that Forsyth County can truly be proud of, and that is uniquely Winston-Salem. I would now like to introduce to you my colleague, Mr. Doug Kleppen. Doug Kleppen is a courthouse design specialist with Heary Design, the SLAM Collaborative, and it was lead designer on this project. Thank you, Doug.
Good morning, my name is Doug Kleppen. I'm an architect and a principal with Heary Design, now part of the SLAM Collaborative. And on behalf of our design team here, we want to congratulate Forsyth County and really appreciate the opportunity to participate in this celebration. This is an exciting day and one that's been long in the making, and we're excited to be part of it today. You know, in many ways, the Forsyth County Courthouse was really a highlight of our 2020, because it was almost a year ago when the news of the pandemic hit and affected all our lives. And for us, we had many projects that went on hold or were postponed as a result of the uncertainty that the pandemic created. But in their wisdom, the leadership at Forsyth County, they directed us to proceed, and so our entire design team was able to work on the construction documents, get those developed, and in collaboration with our design partners at Samet and Balfour Beatty, we've managed to get to this point where the project has been bid and awarded under budget. We've got our building permits lined up and we're ready to start construction. So really, congratulations again to the county and an appreciation for them moving forward to let this project really get to this point. So on behalf of the design team, and that includes my colleagues here at SLAM, it also includes our design partners with Orion Atkins and CJMW. Let me give you a little bit of a background, maybe a little preview of what this courthouse is going to be. Let's start with the numbers. This building is going to be about 250,000 square feet. That's 50% larger than the existing Justice Center. It'll include 18 really judicial spaces, courtrooms and hearing rooms. That's up from the 14 that are currently in the existing building. And I should tell you that all of these rooms will be right-sized, meaning they're properly sized for the function that they're supposed to accommodate, and we could accommodate staff and the public as needed. I think another thing that this building will do is be very secure. We are going to really get what we consider a best practice and get separate circulations. So the public, the staff, and in custody, they really all have independent means to enter, move up and down in the building, and appear in a courtroom. And really, in the courtrooms, the only time they would really actually encounter one another. That's baseline security for the project, but in addition, we've added security checkpoints. We've got card access. There is video monitoring, in addition to other measures that keep everybody safe within their use of this building. I think the other thing that we're going to accomplish here that's significant is this idea of accessibility. It's fully accessible. So everything from the curb to a counter, public accommodation is fully accessible. So whether you're an attorney, whether you're just a spectator in a gallery or family member, or whether or not you are participating as a jurist, everything that you need to do to engage in the building, you'll be able to do. It's fully accessible. I think the last thing that I think is going to be a change for us is that this building will have the infrastructure for full state-of-the-art technology. So whether that's in the sound reinforcement system, the wayfinding, the video presentation, remote testimony, all of that infrastructure is in place. It'll really change the way I believe we can adjudicate cases efficiently and develop really a new model for how we're going to conduct here in Forsyth County. Let's take a look at the building and start with the site. The site that was selected is really advantageous for a number of reasons. First of all, it sits in a perfect place to expand the existing county government campus. So it's adjacent to the administration building and just directly across from available parking as well as from the jail. I think the other thing that's really advantageous is the views and view corridors that really this site it takes advantage of. There's kind of a gap in the city development and the grid, so that this parcel, as it faced Chestnut Street, it can be seen from blocks away as you move up even past Liberty. On the other side, it sits out on the edge, and really so from the Innovation Corridor from Research Parkway, there's a wonderful vistas into this building. So it'll be highly visible, which is appropriate for a courthouse, and really nested in as part of the city grid. I mentioned the connectivity, and that is really maybe the best aspect of this location, because not only does this thing become a campus, we are literally tied to these existing structures. So there is a bridge connection to the administration building, and as a result of that, we're able to take advantage of existing maintenance, the loading docks, and long-term storage capability that already reside within the existing county administration building. We're also able to have a direct tunnel connection to the jail, and that's really instrumental in ensuring security. So now, instead of the current practice where we're putting folks on vans and having to drive through city streets and manage that a number of times a day, here we have a secure link to the jail, which allows them to move in custody participants really much more freely, and it's in a very secure manner. It's much more efficient, really just better for everyone. Another advantage of this campus strategy is really the long-term flexibility that Forsyth County has. So with the Justice Center tied to the County Administration Building, we were able to, in the course of time, really blur the lines between what's a courthouse and where's the county government. And it could be that we are able to move certain departments and free up space that are tied to our in-custody circulation and expand the courtrooms. I think we already have a plan to where the initial number of courts can expand by easily 4 courts and maybe even more over time. And that flexibility is really all embedded in this idea of the connectivity and the campus strategy that this site and this complex of buildings affords the county. You know, another successful feature of this project, I think, is the way we've deployed the courtrooms within this facility. Really on the first 3 floors, all of our judicial spaces, and they're arrayed almost like a double-loaded corridor, or a shopping mall, if you will, where I think the wayfinding and the ease of access, we've employed paired escalators and stairs for the public. So there's really an open, daylit public space that leads you to these courtrooms. And within that space, we also accommodated plenty of waiting areas for folks as they're waiting for their turn within the courts themselves. We don't rely on elevators, or there's not this disorientation of having to get in an elevator and get off and figure out where you go. You always kind of see ahead of you how the courts are laid out, and you're really drawn right into it. It's a very logical, easy wayfinding system, but it also makes it more secure because we have visual control and can see everything that happens within that space. That's really important, and I think that it goes to this idea of transparency. From within, I think you can see where you need to go, and we're borrowing daylight from that open space into each of the courts as well. But also from the outside, those portions of the building, they are where we have the highest really concentration of glazing and curtain wall. So from the outside, you can see really where your destination is. These become the referential spaces within the court, and that's how people are going to understand and know how to navigate. I think it's going to be a great asset to the county. As we began to think about the exterior expression of this building, I think we wanted it to be uniquely Winston-Salem. So it needed to be a good neighbor and fit within that context. And the obvious adjacency is that of the existing county administration building. But also, we wanted to be really understanding of the architectural heritage and the history of that portion of the downtown, and really a nod to the industrial heritage and that architecture that was so pervasive. So our building is really an extension of that. The scale, these long horizontal masses that are articulated in precast concrete, complementary brick, with punched openings very similar to what you would have seen in those original industrial kind of warehouse architectural expressions. Even the bridge that connects the administration building to the courthouse is really an homage to the bridges that used to span the city streets, and in some cases still do, that are part of what the downtown of Winston-Salem was, and just a unique part of its architectural history. And that expression, it becomes really the foundation for our development of the interior finishes for the project. So as you move into the lobby, we now have durable finishes with terrazzo. We're using a porcelain tile pattern evocative of the precast on the exterior of the building. And we've now warmed it up with feature lighting, with wood. Some of the furniture and fixtures also kind of create that warmth. But this is kind of a timeless, neutral palette that we believe will serve the county well into the future. Those public spaces then translate into the court. We are borrowing daylight over the transoms around these entranceways and then reinforcing those materials within the court itself. Again, a generous amount of wood, a strong kind of focal wall that reinforces that the symmetry and balance, the order of the court and the proceedings themselves. Again, picking up on that blend of the porcelain tile and flanked by the wood slat wall, and that I think really sets up for a really strong centered bench courtroom, again with lots of natural light. We've introduced daylight in all the public zones. So whether it's in the public waiting area, jury assembly spaces, or even in the courtrooms, that daylighting and expansive glazing is associated with the jury boxes in each of the jury trial courts. That's an important aspect for us in many ways. It's part of this issue of transparency, but the natural light saves on energy, but it's also very calming for folks within the court environment to have some access to light. And we're borrowing light in every courtroom and direct light in almost half of them. So we think they're going to be really dynamic, but solemn and serious places of adjudication.
Hey, where is everybody? I came out here for a groundbreaking. No, seriously, I just want to say thank you for allowing Samet Balfour Beatty team to be a part of this iconic project. We look forward to building the Forsyth County Courthouse and being a partner and having a landmark in Winston that we'll all be proud of for decades and generations to appreciate. I look forward to a ribbon cutting at the end where we can all be in person. Thank you.
Well said, Arthur. And I couldn't be more excited about today and the opportunity to break ground on this phenomenal project. You know, all the hard work to date is really a testament to how important this project is to the community and everyone that's a part of it. You know, the next 26 months is going to be no short of hard work and commitment by the groups and the teams to work together to ensure the successful completion of this project. But the Samet Balfour Beatty team is truly excited and appreciative of the opportunity to be a part of it. We look forward to its successful completion. Thank you very much.
Welcome to Forsyth County's virtual groundbreaking event. I'm Dave Plyler, Chairman of the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners. This project is one that has been in the works for quite some time, and I am thrilled that it's finally getting underway. A courthouse is not something to be built every day. Forsyth County was established in 1848, and its first courthouse was completed and opened for business during the following year, 1849. Since that time, Forsyth County's 173-year history, there have been 4 courthouses. 48 years after the first courthouse was completed, a new courthouse opened in 1897. 29 years later, in 1926, the 1897 courthouse was upfit to include added space and more conventional looks that you will see today at the intersection of Main and 3rd Streets in Winston-Salem. After 76 years of service as a courthouse, the 1897 location and building were replaced by the Hall of Justice in 1974. The first courthouse served for 47 years. The second courthouse served for 76 years in 2 variations, and the Hall of Justice will have served the community for 49 years before being replaced in 2024 by the new courthouse when construction is completed and finally finished for good. On average, Forsyth County replaces a courthouse every 57 years. So let's get doing this again, maybe, in 2081. Beginning its service to Forsyth County in 1974, the Hall of Justice's origin coincided with other notable events of that year. After a 23-year run, the final episode of Here's Lucy aired in 1974. Hank Aaron surpassed Babe Ruth to become baseball's all-time home run king in 1974. Richard Nixon resigned and Gerald Ford became the 38th President of the United States in 1974. And barcodes were used for the first time to make consumer purchases in 1974. Of these 1974 events, Here's Lucy is off the air, Hank Aaron is no longer the home run king, and the president is not Gerald Ford. The only two of these happenings still in effect are the use of barcodes for purchases and the Hall of Justice, still serving the community, but not for long. Vice Chairman Don Martin and Commissioners Fleming Elamine, Ted Kaplan, Richard Linville, Tanya McDaniel, Gloria Whisenhunt, and myself are continuously honored to serve our community. We have been entrusted by our friends and neighbors to be good stewards of Forsyth County's institutions and development, and the new courthouse getting underway is one that we will do the best we can to make it what it should be. President Lincoln once said, "Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe." Well, the courthouse planning and development in this area at this time has been extensive. But like President Lincoln said, we believe preparation is important, preparation and patience. Along with you and my fellow commissioners, we wish to say that the new courthouse's construction is progressing and will progress even more over the next couple of years, and it'll become a hopeful symbol of the county's promising futures.
The first time that I thought about and talked about a new courthouse here in Forsyth County was about 10 years ago. A statesman by the name of Grady Barnhill, who was a lawyer here in town, a mentor to so many of us and a teacher and a leader, called me to a meeting with David Friedman over at a barbecue place in Kernersville, and we brought the county manager with us, Dudley Watts, and Grady laid out his plan and his vision for what he thought Forsyth County needed most. And it was amazing to watch his mind work at that time. And to see where we are today on the verge of this groundbreaking, I just wish that our friend and mentor, Grady Barnhill, was here to see that and experience that, because it meant so much to him and this community that we have the best of the best.
Well, first of all, knowing for certain that we're going to have a first-class courthouse. This has been a long time coming, and it's going to be built by architects and construction managers who are second to none. It's going to be serving the citizens of Forsyth County, judges and court personnel and lawyers for generations to come.
I think one thing I'm most proud of, and the thing that always bothered me, was that our old courthouse was not handicap accessible. And so all of that's been taken care of. This courthouse will be adaptable to all of our Forsyth County citizens and other county citizens that will come from other areas. So I'm very pleased. I'll be the first one to admit that it took a long time, but I think that our citizens and the folks who are going to work in the courthouse, the folks who will be visiting the courthouse, will be very, very pleased with the outcome.
I think a modernized courthouse has increased technology in it. Right now, our courthouse is woefully behind in terms of technological resources. And so the technological capabilities I think that our new courthouse will have really says that our courthouse is more modern, that we are here, that we're able to provide modern services to the public.
I hope that the citizens of Forsyth County see this courthouse as a facility that provides equal justice for all. I also hope they understand that this is the first courthouse in Forsyth County that is solely for the court system. No other offices will be there, and it's quite a facility. I hope it lasts for hundreds of years, and I hope it continues to do the job to represent the people of the county.
I think what has been most exciting overall about the project is the ability for all the stakeholders in the court system being able to come together and work as a team to come up with the best possible device to orchestrate access to the court systems and access to the public, and the same team being able to work with the architects and communicate amongst ourselves. So it was a real indication of how well we could participate together and work together.
So this is a very exciting day for Forsyth County to finally have our new courthouse for the citizens of Forsyth County. I will say that to have a collaborative effort with Forsyth County Sheriff's Department, the Clerk of Court, and our judicial systems under one building location is going to be some phenomenal work.
It hasn't been the best working environment to work in, so having a new place to work with clean lines, great light, the latest, greatest architectural settings is just really exciting. I'm also really happy to be close to Innovation Quarter.
Today's groundbreaking marks the culmination of many years of debate and study on how best to meet our courthouse needs. The most recent debate on whether to renovate and build an addition to the existing Hall of Justice or to build a new one lasted about a year and a half. I believe that those who work in the new Hall of Justice, as well as taxpayers, will be proud of the new facility. It will be an attractive, functional, flexible building that very well may last 100 years. A lot of people have worked on this project since the site was selected in 2017. There's no way to thank and acknowledge all of them, but I do want to mention a few. I want to thank the design professionals, Doug Kleppen and Shane Clark from Slam Architects from Florida, Jeff Sandine from Balfour Beatty Construction Company, Tim Hillhouse, O'Brien Atkins, Tom Callaway, John Drinkard, and Doug Hoffer from CJMW, Callaway Johnson, Moore, and West here in Winston-Salem. I want to thank Samet Construction Company for being the lowest bidder and looking forward to seeing their finished product. Many county staff members worked on this project. I'd like to acknowledge Damon Sanders Pratt, the Deputy County Manager, Bill Powell, the county's project consultant, James Anderson, the County Construction Administrator, and Gary Key, the retired County Construction Administrator, Kyle Wolf, Budget Director, and Gordon Watkins, County Attorney. A very important group of people made sure that the new facility would meet present and future needs. Those people who spend a lot of time working in the Hall of Justice, judges and staff from the District Attorney's Office, Clerk of Court's Office, Public Defender's Office, the Sheriff's Office, and the Offices of Juvenile Justice and Guardian Ad Litem. You will hear from several of these representatives at the end of this presentation. I particularly want to recognize three lawyers, Richard Bennett, George Cleland, now Judge Cleland, and Jim Fox, for their dedication and involvement throughout the debate and discussion on this project.
Your courthouse reflects, the values and the quality of the people that it serves in its community. And it's a reflection of the community. And for decades, we've had this concrete office building with courthouses, courtrooms stuffed into it, functioning as a courthouse. It is not designed as a courthouse. It wasn't built as a courthouse, and it's barely functioned as one. The new courthouse project was designed by the finest architects in courthouse building in the country. We went and saw their work before we retained them to do this project. They spent months and months and endless hours meeting with all of the user groups and all of the stakeholders in this to make sure that the building we're going to get is absolutely the best we can get. And it's going to be modern, and it's going to be efficient, and it's properly laid out to serve the community as the community needs it.
A new courthouse says to the citizens of Forsyth County that in our area, we have a safe environment for the citizens to go to hopefully receive what we call justice. And justice can be elusive sometimes. In fact, if you think about it for a moment, the second reason we have a government is to establish justice. And I think the words go something like this. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. So here in Forsyth County, we have a brand new facility to establish justice. My hope and prayer is that those who enter the courthouse will receive justice. And I look forward to this place really being a reflection to really respond to the needs of the citizens of Forsyth County.
Well, it's the long culmination of a lot of planning and encouragement from the courthouse community to bring the justice standards in this community up to the 21st century. And it's the ability to incorporate all the things we've been trying to get planned for many, many years to give the services to this community that they deserve and the access to the court system for everyone on a modern level. The technological services that are incorporated into it, the plan and design of all the modern court flow that was taken into account by the National Center for State Courts in planning it, and how it was designed will all lead to much better provision of services than we are currently able to provide with our antiquated building that was built in 1973 and wasn't adequate when it was first built and certainly isn't adequate now. It just gives a much better ability to provide the necessary judicial services to support this community.
On February the 4th, Forsyth County Commissioners and other officials broke ground for the new county courthouse. It has been in the planning stages for several years. There will be more space in the building, plus future space needs will be able to be implemented as time goes on. The space is the primary reason that a new courthouse is needed. It will be a more efficient building to operate, and part because of new things, materials, and layouts of the building. It will be safer for the users. As I've mentioned earlier, the layout of the building, the courthouse is different than the current one and other older courthouses that makes it safer for the users. As time has gone on, it's been discovered there's better ways to lay out courthouses now and in the last few years, much more so than many years ago. The life service of the courthouse is most likely to be 50 years plus. Hopefully it'll be longer than that. I believe that the courthouse will serve the citizens well in the future to come.
Prior to answering that question, I would like to extend thanks and appreciation to the County Board of Commissioners, to the County Manager, and the administration, executives and staff for the county who afforded this opportunity to the citizens of Forsyth County. And initially, when the county approved this project, North Carolina Lawyers Weekly contacted me and they said that I had spearheaded this project. I said I cannot take that credit. It's been a collaborative effort amongst the stakeholders and the county having the foresight to go forward with this. And I'm kind of just the person at the helm now. There were two previous senior resident judges, Judge Judson D. DeRamus and Judge William Z. Wood, Jr., prior to myself, who offered efforts on this project, and the former district attorney, Tom Keith. And all three of those gentlemen were kind enough to offer their advice and service if we needed such assistance during our efforts. But I am excited because the current structure, which I'm sitting in now, has been here since the 1970s. It's somewhat antiquated. As the citizens may not know, although the judges, the DA, the state offices that we hold, it's the responsibility of the county to provide a courthouse, to provide a facility. And we thank them so much for that. But I am excited that we will have a new and fresh facility to work in, a new courthouse. A courthouse is not just a building. I consider the courthouse to be a symbol. It's a symbol of justice. I want the citizens of Forsyth County and other citizens who visit our county throughout the state to recognize that this facility serves the purpose that all persons should be allotted equal justice.
Hi, this is Bobby Kimmer with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. I'm very excited. We're getting a new courthouse. I must say it's long overdue. But anyway, I'm excited that we're getting. I want to thank the commissioners. I want to thank the residents for the support. I want to thank them for the funds. I'm excited because guess what? It's going to be much more modern. It's going to have much more space. It's going to allow us to move about in a courthouse in an updated 21st century building. I'm excited about this, and I want you to get excited about it. So once again, I just want to say thank you to all of you, the commissioners, that is making this come to fruition. And as always, thank you.
All right. Perfect. Perfect. So now, another 10 minutes, another group will be coming. So with that, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Perfect. Take a picture. 1, 2, 3.